guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. Yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dials, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerging victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, is glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, the man, oh there with the hands. Thought they could guard me. I ruin they plans. I do what I want. They do what they can. I can carve for the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach regret even letting them stay in the game. Team around took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash, 100-yard dash.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
About 3 inches of the white stuff has fallen, and the prognosticators say still 3 to 5 more to come tonight in Chicago as we welcome you to football under the lights at snowy Soldier Field. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here we go. Let's go, Pete, let's go.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott from the gun. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago. Third and short yardage, Prescott. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a fourth down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. First carry for Mike Davis, the former Seahawk. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
The throw over the middle, taken in. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Trubisky to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Tyrone Crawford has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now 1 in the first quarter. What do they do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move, but the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. We had 4 in the game last week without having some go-to moves with counters.
A first down carry by Elliott. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Prescott. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack.
3rd down. 3rd and 12.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. It's brought in by Dodson. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. On first down, Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, touchdown number 15 of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Alert, 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 alert.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
180. Right there, 56. I'm coming for you, mine.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it staring at a 3rd down and 13. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look.
Spons. No. Hey, alert. Hey, Echo.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
It's just me and you. It's just me. 47. Kill.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Jonathan Bullard. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play. And the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League, where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. Well, the returns for the Cowboys on Leighton Vander Esch have been pretty good so far. You know, a lot of Cowboy Nation questioned when they took him number 19 overall a season ago instead of Calvin Ridley. But Leighton Vander Esch would get 140 tackles last year, franchise rookie record for Dallas, en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards, a first down. A first down carry for Davis. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 56. Switch up, switch up. 49.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Anthony Brown there on the tackle.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. But this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
180. That's what I do.
Second and 5 now. Trubisky, the screen pass here to Cohen. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the screen play, and that'll set up a third down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Tariq Cohen, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point right down the middle, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And a Cowboy first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go, 47.
To throw is Prescott. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Prescott now. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes. Back-to-back, what a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Switch. All right. Come on, switch it. He's coming. Shut up.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Alert. Hey, Haywood.
Now Trubisky, escaping the pressure right. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards that time. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now for the field goal try, here's Eddie Pinheiro. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And he's into the clear. 20, 10, and the Cowboys are in the end zone for the touchdown. Well, we, of course, saw this a little while back in an Alabama-Auburn game at the college level. You just don't expect to see this, though, in the NFL.
No, not at all. And what you're also seeing are NFL teams being more aggressive about, hey, if you're going to miss the field goal, we got a guy back there. If we've got a chance to bring it back and create better field position, or in this case, get a score, they're going to do that nowadays.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
You ready? You ready?
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
Let's see if that script is a good one for them. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. Those are the type of runs that we did not see from him in the first half, but a good start to the third quarter.
And I know what everyone's thinking that's watching this. They did a great job adjusting at the half. Oftentimes you don't make adjustments. You just dial into your game plan a little bit better, and maybe they're starting to make some headway.
Eluding the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, it hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
On second down, Davis. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Get up! 180! 56! I'm on. Yes.
This one left side, caught by Patterson. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
180! Right there, 56. Hey, 18.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
180! Check 56. I got it.
Throwing on second and 14. Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss two in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Past the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott His second TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now it's Trubisky. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
Flushed out right. And his pass incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Run for Pollard. And some room to roam now. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think someone's going to get in the QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Going up top for Miller. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. that he'll get the